Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Yeah, great. Shane, I know, I'm sorry, I already messed it up in the back, so hopefully it's fine, but like after services we should. All right, we're on bracketed page 128 for Hine Matov, if you want those words. If you don't, you're good. Your books are under your seats. Let's sing.
We come from a tale told long ago, passed on by the waves and the wind. We've made it this far together, you know. Come, brothers and sisters, let's sing. Hine ma tov u'manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Our mothers and fathers who weathered the storm grew strong in the trials of their time. So we brothers and sisters, Ledor Vador, carry on with the the song in our lives. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da.
So tonight we're going to do some of our Shabbat worship to melodies that sort of anchor us in this celebration of independence, as we often do, particularly this year as we get ready to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the declaring of independence of our country. And I just want to say to all of you that we're so happy you're here. I'm sorry you weren't invited to Taylor Swift's wedding. But we're really glad you came here. Or maybe you were and you chose services. Thank you for choosing Shabbat evening services at Barnard Temple over the wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That is totally awesome. We are on bracketed pages 138 and 139. One of the cool things about some of our longer pieces of liturgy is that you can fit them to other songs, right? We do that a lot with the Don Olam. So this one works too. You know this melody. You'll feel weird at first, and then you'll figure it out.
Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, hishmi'anu el yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet re'lit hila, l'echad u'di likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabelo, l'echad u'di likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabelo, likrat Shabbat lechu v'delcha, ki mikor haveracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tehila, l'echad u'di likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabelo, l'echad u'di likrat kala, penei Shabbat
Verse
nekabelo.
5.
Hitoreri, ki v'orech u'miori, uri, shir dameri, kevod Adonai, alayich nikla, l'echad u'di likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabelo, l'echad u'di likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabelo.
Verse 9, in body or in spirit, we rise facing the entrance to our sanctuary as we welcome Shabbat.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמונם סגולה. בואי חלום, בואי
greet your neighbors before you take a seat. So on this intersection of Shabbat and July 4th almostness, observed anyway, we've obviously made some that will make you giggle, but hopefully some that will also move you. Choices about our service this evening. And I'd like to begin with this excerpt from the 1790 letter, from an excerpt of not the whole thing, from President George Washington to the Hebrew congregation in Newport, Rhode Island. I know you know this, right? Me too. And that's like what a ritual is, right? We revisit the thing that we know, we hear it again, we experience it differently. I imagine your inboxes look the way mine do, which is like a lot about this 250th anniversary and what does it mean and what does it mean for us as Jews in this country, and that's something that we'll keep talking about as we head through the summer and into the holidays, but it seems like as good a place to start as any. The reflection on these days of difficulty and danger, which are past, is rendered the more sweet from a consciousness that they are succeeded by days of uncommon prosperity and security. If we have wisdom to make the best use of the advantages with which we are now favored, we cannot fail, under the just administration of a good government, to become a great and happy people. The citizens of the United States of America have a right to applaud themselves for having given to mankind examples of an enlarged and liberal policy, a policy worthy of imitation. All possess alike liberty of conscience and immunities of citizenship. It is now no more than toleration. It is now no more that toleration is spoken of, as if it was by the indulgence of one class of people that another enjoyed the exercise of their inherent national rights. For happily, the government of the United States, which gives to bigotry no sanction, to persecution no assistance, requires only that they who live under its protection should demean themselves as good citizens, in giving it on all occasions their effectual support. It would be inconsistent with the frankness of my character not to avow that I am pleased with your favorable opinion of my administration and fervent wishes for my felicity. May the children of the stock of Abraham, who dwell in this land, continue to merit and enjoy the goodwill of the other inhabitants, while everyone shall sit in safety under his own vine and fig tree, and there shall be none to make him afraid. May the Father of all mercies scatter light and not darkness in our paths, and make us all in our several vocations useful here, and in his own due time and way everlastingly happy. So tonight we're going to light candlesticks. We'll light candles in candlesticks that are on loan to us from Sipora Schwartz. Sipora, who I think is watching us from home right now, is joining with us from home, is, she's a good reminder for us of all that there is to be grateful for living, particularly as Jews in this country, and these candlesticks that she, actually Joan Callan, where are you, Joan? I saw you come in. That Joan brought to me from Sipora on loan for this week and next are eagles. You can take a look after if you want. So we're going to light these, and Sipora, we know you're with us from home. And to light our candles this Shabbat evening, I'd love to invite Ray and Ann Danziger, page 120.
Oh, hear our prayer we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, להדליק נר של שבת.
I'm going to see if I can move them to the other side of our normal candlesticks before it goes out. All right. We got you, little guy. Oh, I think we did it.
Yeah, that's the tough one.
Okay. It's going to be okay. No, it's totally lit. You'll just have to believe me that it's lit over here. Thank you. Can I show you? It's just like needs to, gain its confidence out of that mean air conditioner breeze. Okay. Yeah. All right, I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We're here. We need that. It's going to pass. It's like a summer storm, All right. What's good, Barnard Temple? Right, we're going to share our blessings. We're going to imagine that this cup, which is filled with fruit of the vine, which is the vehicle, the thing we use to bless the day, is made even more special when we add our good stuff to it. So what is good, or at least decent? Joan.
My cousins are here with me from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Cool. Welcome, Joan and Elisa's cousins from Vancouver, British Columbia. Jane.
My grandson and I are going to out to dinner and to a movie on Sunday, and he's right now back from his stay in London at us.
Wonderful. What are you going to see when you go to the movie and the dinner? What are you seeing? Do you know?
Oh, yes,
I'm just curious.
a movie I've seen already.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope it's
It's the one that has the line, "There's no crying in baseball."
A League of Their Own. I think this is the anniversary weekend of A League of Their Own. Question is, okay, we could have this conversation at the ONEC. Great movie. Lots of questions. Love it. Okay, Larry.
To celebrate the 4th of July, my 4 grandchildren are together for the first time. The 3 from this area are visiting the 4th.
Excellent. Family reunions. Family get-togethers. Yeah, good. Okay, Eileen. Mazel tov. Oh, beautiful. Mazel tov. Patty's your hand up? Mm-hmm. Bisha'a tova. Beautiful. All right, Susan? Yeah, mazel tov. I have to say that all of you summer wedding people, I don't get it, but I applaud you. I don't understand wanting to get married in the summer. That's all I mean. January. Yeah.
I'm here with my son and daughter-in-law because today is my husband's birthday.
We're glad you're here with us. Yeah. Okay, one more. Wally, finish us off.
61st anniversary was about a month ago.
Yeah, more summer wedding people. Good for you. Awesome. Well, mazel tov to all of you people celebrating anniversaries and birthdays and other things. It's awesome to celebrate. I'll just add, we had our annual outing, early summer outing. We go each year now for the 4th year in a row to the city to have a meal and a show together. Rabbi Scheffler was there too. She's just not here right now. And we saw Two Strangers. They had a cake in New York, whatever that one is called. That was really fun. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Okay. Let's see. Anybody here? Joanne says that she got some good walks in before the heat. Good. I was going to say, oh boy. Good. All right. So we are on page 123. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Page 146, we remain standing.
Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, yai, lai, 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, yai, lai, 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 lai.
Invite you to take a deep breath for Shabbat. Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Page 154, please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 158.
Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. מי כמוך באלים
the place of this next prayer, Hashkivenu, which, as you know, is our prayer for shelter, for safety. The literal kinds like a Sukkot Shalom makes us think about, and the things that we build around each other to build worlds of shelter and safety. So in the spirit of that intention, Marina in a moment will sing, and I'll offer the fuller text from the New Colossus. Also, like the ones with which we began, words that offer us something aspirational, something about who we could be, who we can be, who we were, who we are still reaching for as a country. These words by the Jewish immigrant poet Emma Lazarus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed, sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lighting, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows the worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she, with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, send these, the tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp, I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden Baruch atah Adonai haporei Sukkot Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Page 164, please rise. Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanor
Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah, Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech haolim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bagevurot, Umido melech, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yachalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue privately through pages 180 and 181. You may do so seated or standing, as is your custom.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen.
All right. Baylor, could I just borrow you to help me? I was going to ask Drew also, but he seems to have escaped at the perfect moment. But Baylor, will somebody else want to help hand out sheets? Okay, cool. This is Cantor Elizabeth Goldman, who you may know only if you have a student who's preparing to become Bar Mitzvah at Barner Temple, because Cantor Goldman has, thank God, joined our tutoring team and is awesome. So you should chat with her. She's terrific. Okay, so we are not going to study our Torah portion of the week this week, which is Pinchas, and it's a good one. If we were to study it, we could talk about the awesome 5 daughters of Tzalaf Echad who we have studied before, and we will again, who challenged the rule of the land when the way that their family was made up would have not enabled their father's land ownings and inheritance to pass to them. Totally not fair, just because they had no brothers. So they took up a challenge thoughtfully, very strategically, and they won. That's cool, but that's not what we're studying tonight. But, I just want you to know that they're awesome. Okay, so we are going to do a little Chavruta study tonight, which we don't always do on Friday nights, but we're going to do a little pairing and sharing tonight. Drew, you left at just the moment I was going to put you to work, but I'm glad you're back. Good. See, this is what keeps happening to me. I made 25 copies. I thought, who's coming to services on July 3rd? And then I went down to all of you apparently, which is awesome. So I'm thrilled. I'm always happy to be wrong about that. And then I went down and I made 25 more copies. So here we are. I'll let you have my copy if you want in a minute. So here's what you have here. I want to give you a little context. And then we'll break up a little and come back and share a little, So obviously, we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, and that is causing lots of organizations to do some thoughtful reflection on, what are we celebrating? What does it mean to celebrate this anniversary? What does it mean to be Jews celebrating this anniversary? How we doing? What's our role? What could we be doing differently, right? So this is not the only time we're going to talk about these questions in the next months, because this is worth spending some time on, particularly at this milestone and this moment that we are living in. But to start, I have given you a two-sided source sheet that was put together by Pardes, which is a very awesome non-denominational institution of Jewish learning. And it is a source sheet, as you can see, that is part of a larger collection of very short essays, which I also have the one that this goes with for you today. Because I thought that you might wish to read the essay tomorrow on July 4th. We're good. It's fine. We're all good. We got a ceiling. We're so lucky. No, I wasn't actually being facetious about that. We have a ceiling. We're so lucky. We're good. But tonight I want to study some of the texts that Rabbi Rachel Berkovitz teaches on in this essay that I'm going to invite you to take home and read together over Shabbat. That is July 4th. And it's on these essays take on some of these big questions, statements, values that underscore the founding of the documents that our founding parents, fathers literally wrote when they founded this country. So this one, you can see, is founded on this question of what does it mean to believe or to state that all men are created equal, as the text says. I always wish to change that because my knee-jerk is to specify it, but that's not right in this context because this is the language that's written. So you'll see you have here a short excerpt from the Declaration of Independence. And then there is a sort of statement of identity, of core original identity from the beginning of Genesis, from our creation story here, which sort of tackles this question from the earliest Jewish lens. And then a couple of commentaries. I'm not sure we're going to get to them all today. That's okay. But I think it's important for us to start sort of immersing ourselves in both the Jewish text and the American texts so that we can start to be conversant about what it means to be Jews today at this important milestone and what that also means for us, okay? So I would love for you to turn to a person or two people, however you're sitting. Don't leave anybody out, Barnard Temple. If somebody is near you and they don't have a buddy, you have to actively invite them to join you. You got it? So you're going to pair and share or trio and share or whatever it is. You're going to read sources 1 and 2, and there are questions under here, which you're welcome to use, or whatever comes up that sort of strikes you as interesting as you study these first two texts together, okay? You have 4 minutes. I know, but otherwise we'll be here all night. If you're sitting next to somebody who's going to make you giggle, you can move. If you're still talking about the first text, you should move to the second one. Because it also could say, like, in the image of God. Okay, it's been 4 minutes. You can talk about a lot of good stuff in 4 minutes, right? I hope you had some rich conversations. So let's just pause here and say, what is something interesting you discussed or observed in looking at either one of these texts or the two texts together? Because I am quite certain that you are familiar with both of them already, right? I know I'm not giving you brand new texts you've never seen, which actually makes it easier for us to talk about it in this kind of a context. So what's a question that you talked about that you sort of found worth chewing on, or something that came up that was interesting? Were you putting your hand up or no, Gabe? Nope. Okay. Yeah.
Well, the United Declaration of Independence was aspiration. It was an ideal.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't current. It wasn't in operation at that time. People were not created equal, or they were created equal, but they didn't stay equal. And they were someday. It was
Yeah. I don't know if it was aspirational, though. I mean, I think that's a modern look back read on it. The thing that's hard about the moment is to say, we know that, like, they left a lot of people out of the Declaration of Independence, so they must have meant we'd get there. I actually think we have to wrestle with the author's intentions, that they meant exactly who they wrote about. And we could say, like we do about lots of texts, like, we know better now, right? And we must, right? We do. That's why I wanted to change that all men are created equal at the top to something else. And then I realized, no, not this time. This is actually what the text says. So at least to be honest about that. But that realization is important, right? To see how far we've come, that we would look at that text and say, oh, well, this was a goal for us, rather than, yeesh, they left a lot of people out of this, this statement of who we are and who we could be. Yeah, Jane.
Law, culture, and social contract are all created by humans. So you have to get someplace before humans.
Say more about that.
Well, it would have to be some kind of a spirit.
Yeah.
It can't be a man or a woman, because law, culture, and social contracts are all
Human creations, right.
ideas.
Rather than things that are self-evident that we are, whatever, yeah. So can I ask you, is equality then in the category of things created by humans, or is equality in the category of things in this construct that is, it is here meant to be given, but.
Yeah, no, it's that equality is grounded in something that's bigger
Mm-hmm.
than law.
Right, yeah. Great, other thoughts, reflections, questions, things that you talked about that you hadn't talked about in a while, yeah.
I've been taught often that the reason why God created one person initially rather than a pair or group was so we are all equally offspring from
Yeah.
one human being.
Yeah,
Which seems very obvious and clear now because I've been taught it several times.
yeah,
And I'm always fascinated with, like, what are they going to be talking about in 50 years or 100 years?
Yeah.
that's obvious then that we're missing out.
Right. Great. So the text that God created, that we sort of know that God created one person first so that nobody could say, like, my ancestor is better than yours, is the text that's next in the sheet here. And we probably won't talk about it today, but it's great if you want to take it home. And there's an interesting sort of editorial question in it about whether the rabbis of the Mishnah who authored this idea meant that the idea that one person was created first was so that all of Israel could say, I am better than nobody's better than me, or whether all the world couldn't say that. You'll see in the note here, there's an editorial question about that, about when the for Israel was added. But it is a great question. It is a great reminder, right, that sort of along with this statement of self-evident equality, and we could ask us, like, how well we're doing with that, goes hand in hand our Jewish idea that we're created in God's image and one person comes first so that we all come from that person, right? So that there must be some equalizer about that, right? If we're all from a person. Good? Yeah.
The idea that creating the person in the image of God was both male and female, it speaks to a lost aspect of God, it seems, the female aspect, which has been downplayed for centuries. But in the story, it's
Yeah.
clear that
Right. So that's really interesting because normally we think about this idea of creating God in the image of people in the image of God, male and female, as sort of being a focus on people. But you're actually saying that we have lost the mirror image of that, which is that if people are a reflection of the divine and we have, more for most of history related to God as a he, with he language, right? That it's not even only about us. It's about like this whole part of God that we're missing, right? Beautiful. Yeah, Larry.
So back to the aspirational.
Yeah, back to aspirational.
And you were surmising that maybe they meant exactly what they said.
I mean,
But.
but, thank you. We have so many lawyers in the room right now, by the way, that this is always a risky, talking to one over here, yeah.
Perhaps they meant that for men versus women, but it doesn't say all white men, although that was the idea at the time.
Yeah,
Obviously, there was quite a split among the founders as to whether blacks were equal in any way to whites. And so what I've learned in the past is that it was an aspirational statement by those who wanted that to be the fact.
right. So when there's like a disagreement of how to write the text. So I'm not this kind of a scholar of American history or the history of these legal texts. So that's very interesting, and it's a really interesting and kind of prettier way to think about it. I think it's hard to read it that way also, like, because it feels like it's a washing of what, people who don't fit into this category, which is white men, who, sort of how we read it. But it's an interesting way of imagining some of what we've lost, if that's true, which is like, how do we create a document that speaks of our idealism when we don't agree? Right? What does the compromise look like, rather than just like yelling at each other all the time, which is a lot of what we're doing right now in this. So like I love that, if that's sure, that's beautiful, that even it's aspirational for us to imagine that we could create something that is imperfect, but it is the best that we could get to together that leads us to something more perfect, right? A more perfect union, right? So Craig.
So, Larry, I just want to push back on that a little bit. In terms of it being aspirational, I think it is aspirational for white men who are landowners.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't forget that the primary author of the Declaration of Independence was a slaveholder. And he did not go on to, Thomas Jefferson, he did not go on to release his slaves in a statement. It was aspirational, but not as broadly aspirational, I think, as we would wish in retrospect.
Yeah. So again, we're not going to solve the problems of these documents right now. And I think like these questions and where we might slip into something that makes us feel better, but might not be like a whole truth, I think that's like an invitation for us. I would say this Shabbat. Oh, Claire, is your hand up? I'm sorry. Or are you just moving your hand? No, go ahead. I'm going to wrap it in a second. That's all.
The purpose of the Declaration of Independence was to declare to the world why we're going to start a war. That was the practice, or that was why it was written. And these words are beautiful, poetic words. They lead into the actual meaning of the Declaration, which is what the purpose of government is, which is to protect the rights of the people, not for the people to protect the rights of the government.
Right.
It's a reversal of
What was. Yeah.
And so I think that these words are very poetic and beautiful, but they're not the essence of the Declaration of Independence.
But they have become for us the essence of our articulation of what it means to to say what it is to be American, right? I mean, at least at some time and place. You may be right historically, but if you ask somebody, to give you 3 words or phrases about what that is, they would say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? I mean, that is right here. So, yeah, I mean, we could excuse and write off all these things to explain why it isn't what it is, but also, that doesn't really help us right now, right? I'm sort of right now, as your rabbi, more interested in, well, what does it mean to be living in this country right now, proudly, right? What does it mean to be living in this country right now, remembering these words? Who was left out? Who was included? What were the founding fathers imagining were they imagining us? It's like your question about who's going to wrestle, what's this going to look like in 50 years or 100 years? What are we going to know now that we didn't know then? Who's going to be sitting here talking about these questions? And then particularly as your rabbi, I'm interested in, as a Jewish community, live in an American Jewish community, what does it mean for us to be American Jews in this America right now? Right? How do those ideals line up with these ideals? And what is for us to be doing in this moment in history? That's the question those are the questions I'm interested in. And that's why it's so interesting to go back to these other statements of origin in our tradition, right? Also, we see the idea of equality, and maybe the idea of implied equality in the creation where everybody is created in the same image, right? But not the same, because if you were to read on here, you would see that one story teaches, the one that Cantor Goldman referenced, about how we all come from the same ancestor, and another one sort of builds on that and says it's we all come from the same image, but we look different, right? So that we're not like a stamp where everybody's exactly the same, and that's part of the beauty of being who we are, because obviously we don't all look the same. And how do we reconcile that statement that comes in defining a few people as equal with our statement defining everybody as sacred? And by the way, equal and sacred are not the same words, right? I know that. So we have to wrestle with how all those ideas fit together. And I didn't even intend for you to have a neat bow tie on this, but I do want to utz you a little bit, right? This is a beautiful anniversary of this beautiful country, and we are responsible members of our communities, right? We talk about this a lot. And I want to invite you to start thinking about what it means to be us right now, to be American, to be Jewish, to wrestle with these ideas, and to feel good. I'm not saying that you should wrestle the whole everything. You should have some ice cream or hot dogs or whatever you want to do tomorrow and fireworks. But what we do at Shabbat should move us to work also after Shabbat, right? Which is why, again, you'll now know these sources better because you can take this sheet with you. There are 25 copies of these, so you could take one per household when you leave, and if we need more, I'm happy to run off more. This is the essay that this source sheet comes from this 4-part, maybe 6-part piece. And this one is called That All Men Are Created Equal. And this Rabbi Rachel Berkovitz, who is a faculty member at Pardes, is teaching on this question, on these topics, texts that you've now studied a little bit. So you'll be experts, and you can see how she wrestles with these 2 beautiful, important traditions. Good? Cool. All right, great. So, page 371. We offer this prayer for healing for our friends or our family or for ourselves. In the middle of the prayer, as always, you'll have the opportunity to share the names of anyone for whom you pray this evening. Anyone's name aloud now, I invite you to do so. To these names we add members of our Barner community: Debbie Becker, Pete Brody, Ray Danziger, Barbara Haubenstock, Carolyn Hassan, Ryan Konzelman, Larry Levine, Sipora Schwartz, Joanne Siegel, Harrison Solomon, Joel Schwartzberg, Stasha Vichnanza, Joyce Weinberg, and Stephen Weinberg. Page 586 in the middle half of the page. Please rise.
Aleinu Shabbat Ladon Hakol, Latekin Layotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Gegoy Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kemishvichot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vegoralinu Kecho Amonam, Vanachnu Korim, Umishtahavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch.
Page 591 in the middle of the page. Please be seated.
V'nehemar v'haya Adonai lemelech hakol haaretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad u'shemo echad u'shemo echad.
Page 598. And we remember with love these of your friends and family, your dear ones whose yahrzeit fall on this Shabbat. This week we remember Marcia Abrams, Isabella Cordero Acevedo, Istael Aronson, Harry J. Betauer, Eva Borson, Trudy Carhart, Louis Cohen, Bessie Dorfman, Howard Esserman, Pearl Graber Esserman, Yetta Friedman, Deborah Freelander, Gail Freed, Lee Gordon, Albert Greenbaum, Sarah Greenfield, Jacqueline Harris, Pauline Graber Hirsch, Bob Jenkins, Rosalie Kleinert, Theodore Kleinerman, Edith Kossoff, Perry Lampert, Merritt Levine, Bertha B. Levine, Norman Manton, Bessie Marcus, Matthew Muscari, Nathan Manat, Sarah Nelson, Robert Puritz, Ellen Rappaport, Seligman Rosenberg, Benjamin A. Rothstein, Joseph Schack, Amelia Salkowitz, Cliff Schiffman, Melvin Silverstein, Ignace Steiner, Mark Stern, Norman S. Weissman, Adolph M. White, and Elaine Zinneman. During this period of Shloshim, we remember Janet Crone, Bernie Manfree, and Catherine Warren. If you are remembering someone and I didn't offer their name aloud and you'd like to do so, I invite you to do so now. If you're observing a yahrzeit or remembering someone who's died in more recent days, I invite you to rise first. We say to you, Zichronam Livracha, in the memories of your beloveds, become blessings, legacies that you carry with you as you live. And we rise together on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman karim v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'miran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all people everywhere. And we say together, amen. Very briefly, not tonight, no, don't worry about that. Starting next week, Shabbat, like all of our weeks, are at 7, and starting July 15th, on July 15th, we're going to start early, a longer series that we'll do in the fall. We'll pick up again. But this one is called Making End of Life Meaningful. And Janie Racco is a temple member. She's also an end of life doula. And she's coming to do a session with our community here. She's terrific. So if you're around, I recommend that you come. Okay, I think that's all I really have to say for today.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.
Page 680, bracketed page 680.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. This is the part you know. God bless America, land
Happy 4th of July and Shabbat Shalom.